Well, I will regularly interact with all of them. I will regularly interact with the Commissioner's Court in advising the Commissioner's Court on legal issues. The Commissioner's Court meets twice a month and addresses the business of the county. I will interact with Jeanette Pieper, the county clerk for our county, because she warehouses all of the documents pertaining to the misdemeanor court and the juvenile court. I will interact with the juvenile probation office and working with them to help the kids out that get in trouble. I'll work with the Road and Bridge Department in addressing development issues with the county. I'll interact with the Human Resources Department in addressing any labor or employment issues that arise, because the county employs a lot of people. It is a big business and is a big entity. So my role as county attorney within the county will be to interact with each and every department, to do so with professionalism and to do so in a way that will make you proud to have me as your county attorney.
Thank you. Also, there have been recently been multiple Attorney General's opinions that directly affect Kirk County. Tell us about those, and what is the county's attorney's role in that process?
Well, let me answer the end of your question first.
Okay.
The Attorney General renders opinions to various entities, but not just anybody can ask for an opinion. There are a list of public officials who can ask for those opinions. Those opinions, once rendered, do not have the force of law, but they are considered strong advice until a court rules otherwise. The county attorney is one such entity that has the authority to request opinions. So a very significant recent opinion had to do with mental health services and whether or not law enforcement could be required to take a proposed patient to a hospital and get him medically evaluated before taking him to a mental health hospital. Our law enforcement felt very strongly, and I felt very strongly, that the law was clear that they could only be taken to the mental health facility, and if they needed medical screening, it was the mental health facility's responsibility to have that done. The mental health facility here disagreed with us, and so we asked for an Attorney General's opinion. That opinion has been rendered. It agreed with our take on the law, and it's going to change how they render mental health services across the state.
Rob, as a former servant in the Attorney General's office, do you have any comments you'd like to make to that question?
I believe that accurately describes how the county attorney's office interacts with Attorney General opinions. The Attorney General opinions are the advice from the Attorney General as the attorney for the state of Texas on an issue of law. And I had numerous interactions with the attorney, with our Attorney General opinions. I worked in a different division than the one that issues those, but those are relied upon not just by the county attorney's office, but also by our state agencies and officials all over the state. So very familiar with that process, and I'm very comfortable with representing Kirk County in asking for Attorney General opinions whenever necessary.
Okay, thank you. This one's to Rob and comes from the audience. In your opening statement, you stated that you wanted to help small businesses. Please explain how a county attorney can help small businesses other than to collect bad checks.
Well, first of all, that is an important function of the county attorney's office, which is to have an efficient hot check collection department, and I will continue to do so. But it comes from my conservative background that we need to understand the role of government. The government exists to serve the people. And the way that government best serves the people is to be limited and efficient. And in our local elected officials to recognize that it is the private sector, it is our businesses, it is the people that are what is most important. It's important, not government is not important, the people are important. And so when working with our private sector, when working with businesses that are looking to develop in this community, when I happen to represent Kirk County in litigation matters, if those litigation matters affect private businesses and private citizens here, it will be coming from the viewpoint and the beliefs of, I want to work with you. I want to work with you to help you succeed. There are certain things that I have to do in the county attorney's office, and I will do those, but I will do those in a way of cooperation and also in a way of helping the citizens of Kirk County and our private businesses be successful, however I can with my office.
I'm going to direct this question to both candidates. Ilse, we'll start with you. What issues do you see are most important to Centerpoint?
Oh, provision of the sewer service that you've been working on for so many years, in my mind, is the paramount issue. And Billy, you and I have worked together on this issue for a number of years. And there are places where people own property, have property, and if we don't get some kind of sewer service that is other than septics on their small lots, they will not be able to continue to live in their homes and be on their properties. I think it's crucial to the success, development, and future thriving of this community. So to me, that's the biggest one.
Rob?
Certainly infrastructure is a very important issue to this community, but I'd like to speak a bit more broadly. I think the issue that will be facing Centerpoint for the years to come centers around growth and the conflict that growth brings. We are blessed to live in a wonderful, family values, conservative community. And part of that comes from how we know each other, how we know our neighbors, how we know the kids that go to our school, and how we see them grow up. But there's also, with that wonderful community that we live in, a lot of people want to move here, and that brings with them prosperity and growth. And so I see the issues affecting Centerpoint will be, how do we keep our community to be the conservative place that we have chosen to live, while at the same time growing and being prosperous. And I don't know the solution. I think it's something that we are all going to struggle with. For example, I know that the Centerpoint Independent School District is looking at some tough issues with regard to the future needs of this campus. And we'll be balancing, your community will be balancing taxpayer dollars versus the needs of our kids and the needs of this community. It's going to be a challenge, and I look forward to working with you on it.
Okay, we'll direct this to Rob with a follow-up by Ilse. And what civil law areas or areas of civil law does the county attorney's office regularly litigate?
Well, the county attorney's office litigates in areas of civil law involving property rights, involving suits affecting people's personal property rights. For example, there's that case that's pending in Ingram right now on Ingram Lake with regard to a gentleman's waterfront property. The county attorney's office in representing the county will, on a regular basis, address litigation issues involving human resources. If people sue because of their job or alleged discrimination, then I will represent the county. And the county attorney's office actually handles quite a bit of litigation coming out of our jails, where prisoners in our jail system file civil lawsuits claiming violations of their constitutional rights. I handled a lot of those lawsuits representing the state of Texas, and those are different examples of the type of civil litigation that your county attorney's office handles on a regular basis.
Also, a follow-up here.
I think Rob has correctly identified most of the areas that have been recently in civil litigation, although as a general rule, we have a specialized law firm out of San Antonio that handles our civil litigation that comes out of the jail. So I review those pleadings, but I don't get directly involved in that area because it's a very specialized area, and we have an excellent attorney who has so far protected us from liability to protect all of our taxpayer dollars.